Yo, what up, guys? Your boy T-Dub was blazing the sports as we are, the night before the big fight, Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux. Definitely just want to go live and just give my final wrap-up thoughts for this fight. If anybody do get a chance to join, too bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. So we got Lomachenko, the Matrix, Braveheart. My personal nickname for him, Mr. 3D. Reason I call him that because you see his angles, his attack, the way he's in and out. It's like 3D. It's like it's right there in front of you. And when you look at Lomachenko, the guy has a superior offense. His offense sometimes is so good that it takes the place of him having a great defense or not, because his offense is so good it can shut down fighters from even wanting to get their own offense off because they just can't get past his combination. They don't see the angles or they don't see the shots coming. Now he's facing Rigondeaux, and one of the great things I like about this fight is that from some of his past opponents, Lomachenko, I just haven't really seen that heart, that will to try to take the fight from Lomachenko. And even though Rigondeaux is a smaller fighter, we all know that he's a smaller fighter. He's moving up 2 weight classes. He weighed in today at 128.4. He didn't look like no cut down weight. That looks like that's where he's at. He might even come into fight tomorrow weighing the exact same or very close to what he weighed in today. But the thing I like about Rigondeaux is from the beginning, he has the mindset, and it's what you need in this type of fight. He wants to take Lomachenko out. He wants to demolish Lomachenko. And I don't think it's just because how good Lomachenko is. I think because there's a clear difference in how each one of them has been marketed, how boxing approached them, and how each one of them been treated. So Rigondeaux probably feels that, why am I always getting the short end of the stick, I can imagine him having a cup, and each and every, in that whole cup, it's the short stick. So no matter which one Rigondeaux draws, it's the short stick. And it looks on opposite that Lomachenko is drawing from all the longest sticks, because there's a clear promotion on wanting to see Lomachenko succeed. They want to see him the champion. He had a title fight, his second professional fight ever. There was a push for it. And the thing is, he has the talent. And I think Lomachenko, for a lot of people, would probably be even bigger than what he is if they wasn't trying to blow him up in 2 fights. Now, Floyd Mayweather, hate him or love him, a lot of people just got to agree, hey, the man, he's the best. Look what he accomplished over his career. And he took a lot of fights, before he was even considered that. Imagine Floyd Mayweather being called the best his second fight in. A lot of people are like, what do you mean? This guy hasn't even proved nothing yet. Or third fight in, they just pushed it hard. And I think Rigondeaux just kind of sees, like, what? And even if this guy good or not, he's probably thinking, that's nothing special in Lomachenko. There's nothing better than him that I can do. All that flashy stuff looks good against a dead opponent who's not trying to fight him. But I'm going to try to take his head off. And that's what I like. I like to hear Rigondeaux wants to take his head off his shoulders. I want to hear Lomachenko wants to take Rigondeaux' head off his shoulders. I like to hear Lomachenko says, he's too little, beat him up, he's nothing. I like that confidence. You know the reason I like that confidence so much, guys? Is because you're going to see somebody, heart, spirit get taken from them in the ring. When you see 2 fighters enter into the ring and the more confident fighter you can see, and the other fighter is kind of shaky, it's just a matter of time. Either the shaky guy is just trying to survive, or he's looking for a way out. You love those matches to where you see 2 people that just want to just take each one of their heads off the shoulders, and dunk it in a basketball or punt it like it's 70 yards, like it's a football, or wherever you want to look at. And you're going to have that with these guys. Now, Lomachenko may be able to pull the Matrix off or Rigondeaux. If he does, okay, that's good. That means we get to see him take Rigondeaux's soul like Mortal Kombat. Your soul is mine. Or we can see Rigondeaux take it from Lomachenko, somebody who's the Matrix, who can crack the Matrix. made with the high tech. Rigondeaux said this high tech stuff is not what it used to be. It breaks all the time. What if it was a fifth? If it was a fifth right now, and I didn't have my son there because my son's in the room, I'd be laid out drunk, sleep, done. But what if Rigondeaux can time Lomachenko's with that in and out movement? What if he can time him to disrupt this combination? What if he targets that left hand not to the face but also to the body to slow down the more active fighter? What if? What if Lomachenko just make Rigondeaux just another victim? What if? But you know what, guys? These questions and more will be asked tomorrow night. As I sip on this to let me clear my throat. Yes, this is Superman, Flash, Batman. I'm a nerd in some ways, I guess you call it, if you can call it that. Or maybe I just took my kid cup and put my drink in it. Alright, so let's get back to it. Guys, as you saw from the headline, I know I didn't mention it yet, but this fight will be on ESPN. So if you are within the States, it's a channel. It's not a complete free channel. It does come with a lot of basic cable packages. Or if you do not have a basic cable package, you can typically go to your nearest bar. They have it. Or somewhere like that. Sports bar, regular bar, most of them have it. Tell them turn it to ESPN and it should be a pretty good fight. And that is pretty exciting, you know, for people that don't have cable or make excuses why they don't have HBO or Showtime or don't want to pay for pay-per-view money. This is really good, guys. And the crazy thing about it, this is one of the biggest fights of the year. And you got one guy who's 9 wins, 1 loss, Lomachenko, versus Rigondeaux, 17 wins, no losses. Neither one of these guys has over 20 fights, and it's considered one of the biggest fights of the year. And depends on how it play out. I don't know. Could be fight candidate of the year. That depends on if it's a really back and forth fight. But as we touch on this, guys, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna try to get into this. Like I said, it's 100% freestyle. This is your boy giving it to you the best way I know how. All right, so now let's get into the press conference. Let's touch on the press conference first, right? Since there hasn't been many, a lot of people have not seen these people face to face. They've been waiting to see just a side difference. We finally get something 2 or 3 days before the actual fight. They finally give us a teaser of it, and they went to Rigondeaux first, you know. And one of the questions that was asked him, I remember, was about it, you know, basically, you know, being the age of 37, what does it feel like to be in a fight of this magnitude? You know, not sure why he threw 37 in there, maybe because he's older, but the fact is, you know, when you're in a fight of that magnitude, you're in a fight of that magnitude. Is really, how did you just feel about being in a fight of this magnitude? Doesn't matter really what age, unless you've done it before. You're in it. So, but maybe the interpreter must have said something about your age or something like this. And he responded with, why people keep worrying about my age, blah, blah, blah. You totally get these questions a lot. Nobody knows if he's 37. Most people will probably guess he's not younger. Most would probably assume that he's older than 37, you know. Could be 40, 41, 42. Who knows? Is age just a number? No, it's not. But for each person, what you do with your body, how you take care of it, your fighting style, you can fight longer within your career than a lot of other people. When you look at Bernard Hopkins, who didn't really show that he was going down until he fought Joe Smith. I mean, the opening bell, you saw the way he was baby stepping around the ring, that this guy couldn't glide no more. He couldn't come in with them rushing shots and clinching shots. He couldn't do it no more. And at that point, you were just, you know, you was probably hoping he pulled out a decision because you knew he ain't had what it takes until he gets knocked through the ropes. But look, again, he was around 50 years old when that happened. Many how was Manny Pacquiao? Was Manny Pacquiao 37, 38? But the only real time I seen Manny Pacquiao really go down, not look like himself, is when he fought Jeff Horn. He beat Jeff Horn. I thought he beat Jeff Horn. He lost to Jeff Horn over there, but it wasn't the same Manny Pacquiao. The Manny Pacquiao didn't even come out in the first 4 rounds was the enthusiasm they know to come out with fights. Typically, they come out, you know, maybe first minute and a half of the first round, figure it out, then they turn that shit up on you real quick. If you don't believe me, ask Cotto when he turned it up on Cotto and dropped Cotto in the 3rd or 4th round real quick was something that he didn't see at all. He didn't really turn up into Jeff Horn until a little bit later. Even though I still felt he won, it wasn't the same Manny. Did not have the same speed, did not have the same pop, definitely not the same Manny Pacquiao. But he fought in a lot of tough wars. And then you look at somebody like Floyd Mayweather, who is more of a defensive minded, like Rigondeaux, who is, you know, until he retired, still fought at a very high level. No, he wasn't his best he ever been, but his level was still higher than anybody else that he has faced and considerably that was out there. Now, some of these young guns out there might be able to get Floyd a little bit wrong, but look at this guy. 40 years old, maybe 41 years old. And to be honest, if he came back, he can still compete with these guys. The thing is, you just give them a better chance of actually beating him. And now you're looking at Rigondeaux. This guy in tip-top shape. He says he's 37. He looks good, looks nice. I'm not sure if his speed going to be all the way there. Moving up, you know, 6, 7, 8 pounds that he moving up. And he gaining muscle. I can imagine, you know, the things I want to worry about. Is it going to affect his timing? Is it going to affect his speed? Is it going to affect his stamina? Different things like that is what I worry about. Now, typically when you lose weight, it can affect your stamina, you know, a little bit more because you're not dieting right, you're not cutting the weight right, and you might make the weight, but you don't last long. When you're going up, the thing is, you can almost get the same effect. You know, you're eating too much, you're just trying to put on a weight, and, you know, go out there, eat some noodles, eat some Chinese food, eat some fried chicken. I'm not saying that's what he ate, but if you eat that type of stuff, it gets you kind of sluggish, and you're trying to put this weight on, and you're trying to function at this weight at as best normal as possible. So those are some things with Rigondeaux. I think the age will not be a factor. Let me stop that. I don't think age will be a factor in Rigondeaux for this fight. Speed, I think he's going to slow down a hair. I think he's going to slow down a hair. It's not saying he's going to be molasses. I don't think he's going to have the quite zip that he normally have, but it still should be good enough to get to the target. Footwork. The thing about Rigondeaux, what makes Rigondeaux really nice is that he doesn't have the flashy 3D footwork that Lomachenko has. He has that slight angles, you know, and it's really nice. It's that work smarter, not harder, you know. Some people got to do all this moving and crazy, and you just burn the extra energy. But them slight moves, just shoot a shot, shoot a shot, or just use your pivot, move, duck, pivot. It takes a lot less energy, and you still being effective, you know. So it's just a different style. No, he doesn't look like Lomachenko does it, but he's definitely very effective. Question is, will that movement be enough to get away from Lomachenko? Will Lomachenko be able to get them angles off against a Rigondeaux who's not going to stay put? A lot of the fighters that Lomachenko has faced have been somewhat of stationary reactive fighters. When he's in this zone, the only way you can get 4, 5, 6 punch combinations off like that is if your opponent is standing there, shielding up, just blocking, or standing there, period. Do this. If you don't believe me, go get a friend. Go outside, tell your friend throw 10 punches, and just stand there. They all 10 going to either miss or land. Tell them to go slow. I'm not trying to knock your ass out, okay? I'm not trying to have you go be back in my comment section. I did that. My friend knocked the shit out of me, T-Dale. What's going on with that? But go slow. And then reset and tell your friend to do it. And the first time you start throwing those combination punches, just step 45 degrees left. Step 45 degrees right. Pivot out. That's my kid, Adonis. Pivot out, 45 degrees or whatever you got to do. 60 degrees, whatever you got to do. Take a half step back. Watch how that person stops throwing punches because you're no longer in their punching range and they have to reset. So a best way to stop a puncher that fights like Lomachenko is counter punching between shots and just not being there. Rigondeaux will have to have great foot movement. He will have to use his angles and he just can't sit there. He just can't sit there and cover up, which that's not Rigondeaux style. I see Rigondeaux doing more to just landing like this here. Now, here's a weapon that a lot of people have not been talking about, but I know for a fact it's going to be effective. It's going to be a key thing for each one of these fighters. What did I do? This is garbage. Remind me tomorrow. One of the key things that's going to be a factor is the jab. When a lot of times these southpaws face an orthodox fighter, they can almost forget about the jab. They use it touch, touch, shoot, touch, touch, shoot, hook, touch, touch, to the body, touch, touch, uppercut, straight. You know, they use it as a touch. But you notice when you have two orthodox fighters fighting each other, you need that jab. You got two southpaw fighters fighting each other where each jab hand is out on the side. You're gonna need that jab to separate punches. It's not gonna, the left hand is not gonna line up like it normally lines up against orthodox fighters. You gotta work for it. The jab is gonna be more of a shoot punch for you. That jab, who can establish a better jab, getting that jab off to the face, getting that jab off to the sternum, getting that jab out to the belly button, stepping up for that jab, pivoting off that jab, using double jab, triple jabs. That jab will be very key to winning this fight. And whoever abandons that jab or doesn't use it as much, it will be clear. Mark my word on it. But guys, this is your boy T-Dub. Do me a favor, subscribe, like it, share it, bookmark it, come back. All the videos right now is on demand. Check them all out. What's blazing in sports. Have a good weekend. Catch you tomorrow. Live post-fight. You're probably going to get 2 videos. You'll get one immediately after the fight, and you're going to get one probably about 20 minutes later once I got to process the data and then be able to give it to you. So the second one's probably going to look like this. Second one's just going to be wherever I'm at, giving it to you raw and uncut. T-Dub, what's blazing in sports? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. You want other ways to know how to support the channel? Check the description. Appreciate it. Thank you.